All right, we got a 2016 Hyundai Elantra. Be showing you how to replace the passenger side rear wheel bearing. So first thing we're doing, taking the wheel off, 21 millimeter wheel nut. And then what we're going to need to do is remove the brakes next. So you can see we've got just a couple of these set screws. They should be like a number 3 Phillips. And then 14 millimeter bolts to remove the caliper. We can get the caliper out of the way. And also 14 millimeter bolts, I believe, for the anchor as well. They might be 15, they'll let you know in a second. Kind of nice that it's got all new brakes, so everything's going to come apart nicely. And we're going to set that aside. And those ones are also 14. I like when companies make the bolts the same. Makes my life easy. I gotta go get a screwdriver. I can get that disc off of there. It's nice, the emergency brakes are part of the caliper, so there's no shoes or anything that are inside there, which makes our life also easy. Okay, now we've got the disc off, we're ready to get this bearing out of here. I see we've got a speed sensor. I believe that's just going to stay where it is. I don't want to have to touch that. And we've got all these access holes, so they've really done us a favor here. So all we need to do, I'm going to guess that they're also 14 millimeter bolts. No, maybe 12s. All right, I figured they would have been 14s. No big deal. I'm going to go get an extension and 12 millimeter socket, and we should be able to just zip those 4 bolts out and take our wheel bearing off. I'm just going to grab the bearing first to make sure it's the right one. We're just going to hammer these on and off just to get all the rust off. Then we'll go around with the impact gun, buzz all these out. Alright, once we get all the bolts out of there, we can then just hit this with a hammer. Just like that. Just watch, so you got this tone ring that's right here. That's what the wheel speed sensor reads off of. And it doesn't stick out very far. I doubt it would actually hurt anything, but if you were just to like keep hammering it down and down and down, it might actually contact the sensor. Plus, we've also got these alignment studs that are here. And I guess there's a potential of bending those if you were just to keep hammering it down and down and down. So try to like walk it out evenly. Then once we get this out, I'm just going to clean up some of this rust that's on here. Then we're pretty much ready to install our new bearing and get the bolts in. I'll leave that. There is like a certain orientation that it has to go on. The studs are sort of offset from one another, so it can only go on one way. once we get these bolts started in here, we're just gonna buzz them down. But I'm not gonna go super overkill tight because I want to torque these down. Now I go grab the torque wrench. All right, the manual says to torque these bolts down to 43 foot-pounds. I'm gonna do it in sort of a crisscross pattern. That plastic cup that's in there is like getting squished. I wonder if the depths are the same or if they're different. Oh, there's a backing plate that's rotted off that's missing. I guess I should check that. All right, so without the thickness of the backing plate, they have this space so close there that this will actually push into the plastic just slightly. So it's probably gonna cause a bunch of noise. And I'm just gonna rip this out. I recommend that you go buy a brand new backing plate if yours is rotten. But we're just gonna try this without doing that because we don't have one right now. And I'm sure many people are probably like, I'm not going to buy one of those. So we're gonna give this a try. Okay, perfect. Now we can put our disc back on, get our set screws in. And that's gonna go like that. And if you wanted to torque these set screws, I believe they're 4.3 foot-pounds, which is not very much. I like to just put them on just snug, not even really tight, just snug. Then we can get our bracket, put our bracket on there. These bolts for the bracket get torqued down to 55 foot-pounds. All right, now we just throw our caliper on, get these bolts started, and we tighten these down to 27 foot-pounds. All right, so that's pretty much it. You can give the wheel a spin and just make sure that we're not rubbing on anything. That's just the brake pads. And everything appears to be good. So we can go ahead and put our wheel on there. Start our wheel nuts, and then the torque spec for these wheel nuts is 80 foot-pounds. I personally put these on at 100. That's just my personal preference. I go a little over. Haven't had any issues, been doing this for a long time. Once I get these on, torque them down, 5-star pattern. And I re-torque them again just to make sure. And then take it for a drive, make sure everything's good. And that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. I'll be glad to answer anything you might have. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more content. We'll see you in the next one.